Hello everybody and welcome to ZeldaSpeedRuns, broadcasting the Skyward Randomizer Winter 2021 tournament. We have a semi-final match for you today. It's gymnast86 versus Kitcot. Commentating for us we have BattleCats59 and Papernicus, and tracking is Pac-Man Power Ghost. Say hello everybody.
Hey.
What's up, everyone?
Let's get this match going. This is hopefully gonna be a very close one. It definitely could be. And welcome to my fans as well. Welcome. Finally be able to commentate again. So yeah, I mean, both players today have fairly similar styles and are very good players both, so this is going to be very interesting, I think. Gonna see where they're different in the end, right? With this matchup, where they're gonna make different decisions. It's definitely gonna be interesting to see. Seems like everything is ready, so let's hope this seed is not too bad. I think most of you are familiar with randomizing and Skyward Sword, so I don't think you have to go over the basics. Deer seed, interesting. Nice file there.
Can't wait to see what the required dungeons are.
Yeah. See what Fledge has for us today. Or a boy.
Hey.
Wow.
Nice
treasure. Saw LMF, I didn't see the second one.
LMF and Cistern, which aren't too terrible.
No, definitely not. I mean, we'll see which pillar it is. Okay, so it's not Leneru. We definitely have Farron, so I guess without a tablet will be Elden, of course. Interesting. LMF definitely requires a lot of extra stuff, so might be pretty late, considering that the tablet isn't even in yet. Gonna see what routes they're gonna take here. I mean, there's been different Skyloft routes. Not really kept up with what they're going for. But you can either go towards Bazaar, which seems to be what Kitcot is doing, or you could go to the Goddess statue, which is what Gymnast is doing. Or maybe Kitcot is only here for saving. But there are definitely two routes here you can do. So basically, either doing the Goddess statue last, or doing it right away.
I think I'm making a magic file.
It appears to be. I'm not quite sure what RBM he wants to do with the dungeons, but I guess it's always nice to have. A good thing here is with ending on the waterfall cave, which is probably what Gymnast is gonna do. He can directly go to Elden, which he knows is open. That's kind of convenient. So it's not a bad entry to the sky. So I think going to the statue is pretty good if Elden's open. I'm going for a shield as well. Because I mean, both ways have their merits. See which will work better for the other. So far, Skyloft not really that useful. Probably makes sense considering that we have 2 tablets open with a lot of items on it. So I was the one that invented Bazaar Gang, first of all. But I ended up doing statue most of the time. Just less to think about. Especially when I don't see Linear open. But I think it really doesn't matter. To be fair, I also haven't played for a while.
But they both have their pros and cons, and it really works out either way.
It's also going to be interesting to see if Gymnast is going to go for Retro or if he's going to go for Elden. Because he has a good chance to just, go directly to Elden. He's the perfect spot. But Gymnast tends to be very, doing everything he can in an area and then moving on. So it's going to be very interesting to see if he decides to stay on Skyloft or not. While Kitcot has an easier time because he is gonna stay on Skyloft anyway because he's going for the statue, right? So he's kind of on the way to getting maybe even more 5 crystals and then doing Patrol. So it's more on his way, so he doesn't have to think about that too much. I think with Elden and Farron open though, you don't really need to go to Patrol, so I think it's definitely a good decision from Jim to go to Elden now, because it's just too much out of the way to go for Patrol. And you most likely will get crystals on the way here.
Yeah, definitely.
Although it could be a huge game changer if Kitcot goes for it and gets something huge. But it's also not set in stone. I mean, getting the 5 single gratitude crystals takes some time, so wonder if Kitcot wants to waste that time. Definitely wants a shield though. Fair.
The good thing about staying on Skyloft longer and just the sky in general is that if you find it digging mitts, that opens 8 more checks in Elden that you can get that Jim won't be able to get without mitts.
Yeah, I mean that's always the gamble, but I mean there were not that many more checks that were available for Kitcot, and it seems like he's not going for more. Instead, he's going for the boulder. It's definitely a rather. Oh, actually, maybe he's just going for the patrol bottle here, the paro bottle. Sorry, which
Probably
is
see him
something
get
I've
the rod
seen
anyway.
from him before, so I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, I mean, he could also go for the boulder. I just think, yeah, I guess he's just doing it while he's here, which makes sense. It's just a very intensive time for a check while he has so many other checks open, you know. While Jim is getting way more checks in the same time. But if this is the one check that is required, then it doesn't matter, right? And Gymnast probably has to do it as well. At some point. Slingshot. Definitely not the most useful item. But as long as you don't have any other projectiles, it might have some uses. For example, allows to do like the cutscene skip in Elden with the I don't know what the Pyros, I think, is the name of these things. Oh! Tumbleweed! Let's go.
Validation item. Nice.
Ooh!
Jim getting
Getting outplayed by the bomb. But luckily for Gymnast, he probably is gonna get a hard piece at some point. Because that's normal. Yeah, luckily it was full life, because dying there would have been bad. He didn't save at the East statue, so he would have been put back to the beginning. Let's see what we have in the Lumpy Pumpkin for Kitcot, though. Didn't quite see it, but apparently Kitcot, maybe it was the sound. Maybe he heard like crystals or something. Yeah. Because crystals can actually hear from the sound.
also French vanilla mitts in the cave for Jim.
Yeah, that's definitely very good. I mean, it's not that surprising. I mean, there were not that many checks, so progression was bound to happen. Definitely very nice. Because that's basically Elden mostly done. Think did Din's power set it was required, or?
Yeah, it was.
Okay.
You might need what it reveals.
Interesting, interesting. Very nice there with the Bokoblins. Very clean, as we expect. Maybe we get another mids here. Just a rupee. I didn't quite catch the Din's power, unfortunately, but I think it's probably... It makes sense if it would be required. I mean, it's not that much blocking it at this point. Ooh, there was an auto aim there from Link because the pyro was behind the wall. Very unfortunate.
Yeah, if you're aiming your Skyward Strike at something and there's an enemy nearby, the game likes to turn your Skyward Strike towards the enemy even if you can't hit the enemy.
Yeah. It's just a little bit of auto targeting that's in the game. Sometimes really annoying. And sometimes might even be useful. Fortunately, Kitcot could not use the slingshot to his advantage here. It missed the shot. But not really a big deal.
No circles for Jim.
That's bad, man.
Hey!
I mean, Jim made it valid with the tumbleweed. I think it's fair. Rattle, interesting. Might be the progression we're getting from mids here, so... If we don't get anything else, then this might be the way to go. If you think that this is what logic wants you to do. Which makes sense. But there's still a lot of other checks with Farron being open, so... It might just be a red herring. All of Elven. Or digging mids even. I mean, it might look like that Kitcot is behind, but as long as there's no clear path for Gymnast, then there's pretty much no difference right now. And so far, I don't see a clear path. I mean, maybe if he only gets Rattle, you could argue that that is a clear path, but still. So many other open checks.
And the things that Kitcot did in the sky, Jim's probably going to end up doing later on.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I mean, if Gymnast had a clear path, then he wouldn't need to do them. But as long as he doesn't exactly know where to go, he'll probably have to do these checks as well. But I'm not sure if he's gonna go for the far boulder that soon. Oh, so Slingshot was useless, fortunately. I mean, Bow's not really opening up anything, but it's still nice to have. It's very good at killing enemies. Decent points. Enemy projectile is also nice. Ooh, sword upgrade. That's
Dig
definitely
spots are
nice.
stacked.
Ooh. Yeah, I mean, logically, I guess you could argue Slingshot might be there. Might be easier for Kitcot, but I don't think Gymnast is gonna worry about that. I mean, if he can finish and if he can enter and finish like Floria and Ancient System, he'll go for it. Yeah, but I mean, it could be that Beetle is like in Ancient Cistern, for example. And then, you know, Slingshot would be the path to Ancient Cistern and then the path to LMF, so. Logically, Slingshot could be the thing for us, but. Yelden definitely has a lot of side quest checks. Definitely interesting to see what Gymnast is gonna do. I mean, he has the chance to also do Fair now and then do Skyloft, or he could decide to first do Skyloft. Skyloft maybe has a little bit more checks he can get and faster, but if he does Fair and first, he can, like, for example, start the Olin quest. Be nice. Just to have that out of the window.
No circles for Kitcot either.
Very unfortunate. Even made a tutorial, but still not enough for this run. Half a circle. Small circles, yeah. No inventing new terms. Small circles. Slightly more valid. Nice jump slash right there. Oh wow.
Another
okay.
sword.
Interesting. I mean, that's very nice for the seed. It's just gonna make this seed more smoother. It doesn't directly mean that it is a jet seed, but it makes it more smoother so we don't have to search for annoying items. Yeah, but I mean, Elden had a lot of stuff, but no progression really. I mean, swords don't get you anywhere right now, and bow is not gonna get you anywhere, really. So, not really sure. The problem now, of course, is okay, another song here, but that's only part of the Song of the Hero. The problem is, what is actually the thing that is important here, right? Maybe the sword is the thing that Logic wanted you to get, but maybe it was the side quest items. So, it's hard to say. We'll probably see that soon. At least if the side quests have anything. The swords lead to progression, and it's gonna take a little bit more. Apparently, it seems like Din's power is not useful. Okay, so good to know. So Elden is mostly done, basically. There's only very few things. Yeah, and it seems like Gymnast is probably gonna do Lumpy and then Farron, because it's closer. Or maybe he's doing Skyloft after. I'm not sure. Oh, he's going for the boulder, that makes sense. I think Kitcot didn't go for that one, right? He directly go for Elden?
I'm pretty sure he got this one.
Oh, okay, so I guess. Yeah, I mean, okay,
you
yeah,
got
right,
that.
right. I remember.
Oh no, Kitcot.
Ooh. Oh, okay, he's got it. I was a little bit scared that he's gonna go all the way down because sometimes it's very hard to avoid not falling all the way down. Seems like Jim is going for the crystals. Interesting, for sure. I mean, the next reward is gonna be quite a ways off, but I understand that he doesn't want to come here again, so he's gonna get them out of the way right now.
I agree
I
with
think-
Kitcot putting them off.
Yeah.
Because he has to get the soup.
Yeah, I mean, I think skipping the crystal is probably smarter. Just because we have a cap, so like, progression items will only show up until like 50 gratitude crystals, so everything above won't have progression. So you won't even need every group of 5s to get that. So very well might be possible that you never have to get this 5-1 here. Yeah, but I mean, early Thunderhead would have been quite a time waste if there's not really combined with anything. And I mean, flying away, around with the soup is not a big deal right now. I mean, there's no other side quest really he can do right now with picking up anything. And even if he starts Olin's quest, he won't want to go back to Fair right away because everything is locked still. He was gonna wait for that. Yeah, I mean, of course, there's always a chance that you need the 5-pack right there. But putting him off for now, like, might be smart because you always know that it's there. So the moment you need it, you can go and get it, right? And if you never need it, then you skipped it. But on Gymnast's side, of course, he's thinking about Levi's as well, so probably wants to be clean rather than risky with that play. Yeah, I don't think Olin's gonna be done very soon. At least I assume he's gonna put off the second Farron trip's gonna be put off for a while, at least for Gymnast. Cause
And Alan isn't in logic without bomb bag.
yeah, and he doesn't want to lose the soup because that would be annoying if he ends up wanting to do Levi's, of course. Yes, so I assume it's gonna be a clean sweep for Gymnast, so probably Farron and then the last Sky checks, so talking to Ariel, maybe healing her if he gets a bottle, and doing the last boulder. Then we're gonna see how close both of these are, because that's basically done all the same checks then, when Gymnast finishes the boulder one. For boulder. Yeah, Slingshot was one of the Spiral Charge boulders. Wonder if a Gymnast is gonna do Fence Hop just for the bird statue. Go means they have everything they need to finish the game at this point. Which means having Master Sword, the Harp, and all the items to beat the required dungeons, which in this case is LMF and Ancient Cistern, which translates to bombs, Hook Beetle, gas spells technically, although it might be skippable. And for Ancient Cistern, that means Whip and something to reach Lake Floria, which is either scale, of course, scale and gust bells. I guess scale, yeah, because we kind of need gust bells anyway. I mean, for Lake Floria checks, you only can get one right now if you don't get the if you doesn't get scale here. So slingshot, if you don't have any projectiles, it's kind of useful, and it also is one way to reach Lake Floria, because how the game wants you to reach it is by waking up Yabal, and you can only wake him up with either slingshot or beetle. So if you're not able to get beetle, then slingshot is logically required to reach Lake Floria. But of course, with some nice jump slash, you can actually avoid having to open the Lake Floria gates. But logically, slingshot is required. And it's nice to have because you know, if you have it, that you have the ability to go to Lake Floria. So you don't have to think that you're going out of logic. You're going in logic, just a little bit quicker. So yeah, slingshot is mostly useless, unfortunately. For example, if Gymnast didn't have bow right here and had slingshot, he could right now he can't reach deep woods if he hadn't have bow, and then slingshot would be useful. So there are points where slingshot is important, but only if you don't have anything else to shoot with. Luckily though, Jim got bow, so he can get the deep woods check. There could have been an advantage for Kitcot, who seems to do Scalloped again. So very different, very interesting here. So Kitcot is going for more clears on Scalloped, which probably makes sense because you might think that this is the logic, so that the thing he got from digging mitts, which he got in Elden, is important for him. Which means the side quests with Rattle and Call-In might actually give him something. That's probably what he's hoping for. But of course, if there is nothing directly for him, that's gonna put him behind, because Gymnast is gonna have a better Skyloft segment with having everything else cleared. Something I noticed definitely that Kitcot likes to do a lot of Skyloft trips. But I mean, it makes sense again. I mean, it could be exactly what logic wants you to do. Gonna see if Gymnast gets the cube orb here. Get the one chest.
With White Sword, he has 2 shots at it, so he shouldn't miss it. Although I don't want to jinx it.
No one talked to Idle yet. They had very brief first Skyloft trips. And Kitcot is just on his second, so he might be talking to him right here. He probably wants to go patrol as well, so we'll see what he decides to do. Bellows on Rattle, so it seems to be definitely something logic wants you to get. Gust Bellows does give him one more check, but that's about it for now. I mean, there's 2 checks on Skyloft technically with Gust Bellows, but he doesn't have the other item for the other check. So there's 1 extra check he can get with this. And as I said, Gust Bellows is most likely required. Like, logically it is, but technically you could have avoided it. But we won't see this seed, I'm pretty sure. Seems like he's gonna talk to Idode here. I mean, Whip wouldn't really do much as well. Whoop and Clean Crystal still missing the scale. And unfortunately Whip is also one of these items that doesn't really do anything outside from the dungeon. Same with Gus Bellows. Oh, nice, a beetle for Kitcot right there. Bonking the tree. You could, that is true. But I don't think that's worth attempting. But of course that is up to Kitcot, not to me.
Yeah, that takes a while and isn't the most easy thing to do, but it is
and
possible.
for one check, it might just be a big waste of time.
Now we'll see what Slingshot has.
Using the right option right there. Don't do the left option is the right option. Don't do the right option. Because that's gonna take a little bit longer. Very annoying. Seems like, as I said, he probably wants to get that statue right there to have a faster back travel later. Scale?
Again on cleaning crystals.
That's definitely what Logic wants you to do, as I assumed. But unfortunately, doesn't get him far yet. I guess it means you can do all of you can do all of Lake Floria. Never mind. So it does give him some advantage for sure here.
That also puts the one check in Cistern in Logic now.
Yeah, but I wouldn't do it. It would definitely be a crazy decision.
Master Sword.
Master Sword. Okay, sure.
30 minutes in.
I am not you, Jasnix. That is true. I mean, I'm not 100% sure. Might be my alter, my evil twin or something. But I'm pretty sure we're not the same.
Beetle as well for Kitcot.
Yeah. Definitely saying Lake Floria, Lake Floria, Lake Floria. Very loudly, to me at least. Which makes sense that because there's another sword upgrade there, but there might even be more there. Starting the side quest right here. Interesting without the pillar. It might be never needed to do the side quest, but I understand it doesn't take too much time to get it activated.
Yeah, and might as well get it started while he's over here, so he doesn't forget about it later, which I doubt he would, but...
So yeah, and now Gymnast is also gonna go to Skyloft and do the checks that Kitcot just did. So honestly, if Kitcot decided to do Slingshot check in Farron, they probably are pretty even. But Kitcot might just not do Slingshot check. I'm not sure. That's up to him, of course. Seems like trials are not the thing at the moment. We still have 2 more to check out. Seems like we're trading here. Kitcot goes off Skyloft and Gymnast is going into Skyloft. Actually, did he do Colin's letter yet? Not sure. Don't think he did. So I guess maybe even more Skyloft for Kitcot here. Definitely advancing trees a lot. Should be the 4th convo.
Pretty sure
Okay.
Kitcot did turn in the letter, and it was a key piece.
Okay, that could be the case. The thing for gymnasts is he can start the Olin quest right here while giving the leather, so that's nice. Probably also why he's gonna go from lower, yeah. So it's definitely gonna be important if Kitcot goes for slingshot or not. So avoiding it could get him ahead. He's gonna start the Olin quest here, but he probably doesn't want to complete it for a little bit. Unless he wants to get rid of the soup. I mean, it very much depends, of course, on what he's getting.
Kitcot has a sort of an advantage here in Farron because he can get 3 more checks. 2 in
Yeah.
Lake Floria and 1 in Cistern, if he decides to dip for the 1 in Cistern.
Yeah, I mean, he can definitely do that if he wanted to. It might be very important, and it would be annoying to not get. But it's definitely rather far away check. But looking at what we've given so far and knowing what Gymnast got in Farron, it seems to be pointing towards Lake Floria, so I wouldn't be surprised if there's another good item there. When you think about it, we've seen everything what these checks can give us. So something has to be in Farron, right? Because Kitcot did basically everything on Skyward he could. I guess Beatrice is still an option. But aside from that, something has to be here. And I think he has even one more check because he can get that Great Tree chest. So.
Oh yeah, there's also that.
And we know the Great Tree chest always has something. So. Seems like he's going for Slingshot. Which makes sense in his position. He doesn't know that Slingshot's not going to be useful. So.
It doesn't cost too much time with the shortened text, but still a little bit of time that could have been saved.
I mean, only if you know that you don't need it, right? So, it's always a big gamble to skip it. And I mean, Kitcot has no reason to, because he knows that he's on the right path right now. I mean, True Master Sword is nice to get, but technically not required for the for beating the game. What would be required is either like Amber Tablet, Whip, Bombs, or another beetle. I also wonder if Kitcot is gonna do Lake Floria last, or rather early, because that's also gonna, because we know that the rest of Farron isn't really interesting. So if he decides to go to Lake Floria early, he'll get the items he wants.
If I had to guess, we'll probably see him go there after finishing Slingshot, just like Jim did.
Yeah, probably.
Or he might
actually,
be going.
it seems like he's deciding to like Lake Floria here, or
Maybe just
at
the
least
log.
yeah. No, he's going.
No,
for
he's
it,
going.
yeah. I'm not quite sure why he put down the log, but he'll have his reasons. So I'm fairly certain. I mean, grade 3 could be the thing that is important, but it's likely to be one of these checks that he's getting in Lake Florida. But we'll see. We'll see. Definitely good for him. And he seems to going for the one check in Ancient Cistern here. I mean, if it is whipped, then it's nice. But I would have rather got the other checks first, because they could have been a whip. I mean, I don't know. It's just insanely risky to do the check right now. I mean, whip could literally be around the corner in every check, allowing you to full clear Ancient Cistern.
In Kitcot's streams, I know he was talking about doing these one check dungeons with one check, like Cistern and Sandship.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not against doing these checks, but I would rather get other checks beforehand to make them not one checks, right? I'm completely not against it, doing it once you didn't get what you want so far, right? But doing it right away is being very confident. Sorry, I was away for a second. So yeah, it's definitely pretty confident. Our assistant clip, you mean? Yeah, I mean he might do that, of course. But bottle, okay, I mean that could be important. Yeah, I mean the other ones, I'm not sure if fracturing Ancient Cistern is the best play, but I mean it might be required. No, I mean it is not required unless bottle is the important item. Nice. It seems like he's going for a Cistern clip. Very fast, very smooth. That was a good clip right there. Let's hope it pays off. Gonna go for the whip chest right here. If you land right, you can load the room, as you can see, and you can get this chest here. Let's see. A map. That's not exactly what you would want on this check, but there's more still, technically. Very nice bomb flower right there. Yeah, the swords were 2 in Elden and 1 in Floria. And the last one Kitcot will probably get after he's finished with... Navu was not required. I'm very certain.
Yeah, it was not important.
Another quick clip. Nice. I know the clip isn't too hard, but still not the easiest to do. Ooh.
Oh,
that
he got
is...
soft block.
Yeah. Do you save? Now, Mini doesn't have to get a whip chest, so it doesn't matter. He knows that the whip chest is bad, so... Lucky for him right there. I mean, he didn't save after the whip chest, but we know the whip chest is not something he needs, so he can directly go for the basement chest. Would have been unfortunate if the whip chest also would have been good.
I mean, if whip chest was good, he probably would have saved after that clip as well.
Maybe. I don't know. Nice, there we go. And he also needs bombs in order to open up LMF. But other than that, you're right. with the required stuff. But of course, these items could be anywhere, especially at looking at the harp, because harp is something that doesn't really open much, especially if the trials are not required. So it basically could be everywhere.
Nice back high flip from Kitcot.
Yeah. Don't think there is something else you can get right now. The Ancient Cistern. Unless he does some RVM stuff. Maybe. Could go further, but that seems intense. But I'm not the most knowledgeable on LMF out of logic. Don't think it's the best thing to do. Oh, I guess he can. Oh, okay, I see. He can go this way. That makes sense. So he can get this chest here as well. It's definitely nice. Third piece. Oh, and the behind the waterfall. No, we can get. Check am I missing? It's been a while apparently. It also seems like Gymnast does not care about the soup. He's like, you know what? I'm just gonna directly get rid of it. Which makes sense, since he has to do the second Farron trip. With all the items he got. No, map chest requires whip. Map chest is you can't jump over there, as far as I know. Or can you really reach that? Okay. Well, I mean, so far to me it looks like Ancient Cistern is gonna be it's gonna be late in logic. With
Master Sword for Kitcot.
Yeah, Master Sword. You know, I don't. With the items we got so far, it appears to be not that filled with good stuff. Let's see what the Great Tree Chest has though, and the other Lake Floria checks. Because somewhere there has to be progression. That we know. Crystals. So technically, 30. Oh, there it is. Bomb bag. Bomb bag is probably, and again, Great Tree Chest proves itself again. I mean, it has to be, unless this last check in Floria is something amazing as well. I mean, the one bottle the Kitcot got is also in logic. So there is healing Oriel, technically.
Yeah, the bottle
Bomb.
could give Kitcot an advantage.
Yeah. But there are also 5 bottles, so it might just be. Okay. A beetle.
Beetle.
Interesting. Everything working for Amber Tablet. It might be Amber Tablet on Pure Trees, who knows? Game might already think you have it. Because this is crazy. I mean, LMF has so many requirements, but we already met them. Which makes sense since Ancient Cistern didn't show much of use. Okay, I think with the... it's probably 30 crystals next. Considering there's 5 more crystals in Lake Floria, that's gonna be for Gymnast here. I mean, Whip is what we need for Ancient Cistern. But LMF, which is normally... LMF is normally insanely far back in logic, which it might still be because we need Amber Tablet, but having all the required items already is pretty crazy. I don't know, I'm calling that Ancient Cistern's gonna be late, just because of the checks we've seen were pretty empty. I guess haven't seen much of the dungeon yet, but it's just a feeling. Appear trees and 30 crystals. $30 crystals is 2 checks, so. And probably something I'm not thinking of. Oh, delivering Olin, of course. Like, no, that's pure farm back. So now Olin is in logic. So delivering Olo is also another check we can do. So that actually puts Gymnast again a little bit further ahead because he also has another check he can check. So because that means that might be the reason why we got bomb back after all. It might be for Olin Crystal. And Olin Crystal is also known to be good a lot of times.
Jim isn't going into Cistern, so if there is a late bottle, we might see Kitcot get an advantage. If there's something good on Oreo.
I mean, he has the advantage of the bottle, and Gymnast has the advantage of already having picked up Olo. I mean, if you want to, I mean, Rando is definitely a nice way to get into speedrunning. Because it's more casual than speedrunning at first. And if you don't like all these like bit tricks and stuff, you can also do like categories like no bit, which are also rather normal Skyward Sword. Nothing crazy. So there's definitely lots of ways to start for you if you want to, and the Discord will always be there to help you if you have any questions. Yeah, no bit is very long, unfortunately, because the game is very long, and you can't do anything in this game.
Lobster roll for Kitcot.
Nice. I mean, I'm definitely somewhat hyped for SSHD. Unfortunately, I don't have a Switch, so I won't be able to partake in the fun you guys have, but I'm still glad for you guys. Sorry, what was Olin? I didn't see it.
The heart container, so nothing good.
Okay, yeah. That's not an advantage here. Good to know. You don't need to buy me a Switch, guys. Definitely not. I think I'll have fun just watching you guys play. And after all, it's probably just gonna be no bit. I don't think we're gonna find something crazy. Yeah, I mean, if I have the money, I might consider it, but it's still a big investment for a game already played. I'll consider it. Maybe, I mean, maybe we'll get more out of bounds, but the game's collision is insanely tight. Unfortunately. It's like layers on collision sometimes even, it feels like.
Also, Jim just doused the rattle check to see if it was crystalled, and it was actually crystalled, so.
Very useful. And it's amazing that it actually turns out to be useful, because often it isn't. But if you have White Sword before you get the rattle check, you can get the crystal dowsing and check every freestanding item. Ooh, harp.
That
Then it
puts the
leads
trial
back
in
to
logic.
Farron. What is this? Doing every Farron check? The game? Now, as far as I know, Elden Trial was not required. At least that's what the hint says. Because Harp only opens one check right now. More crystals, wow. Oh yeah, yeah, I mean at this point there's not gonna be much left in Fern to do. So we'll go back there for Ancient Cistern, I'm fairly certain. But it seems like the checks are going towards an end, so it might be... Oh, getting the cutscene here. Very bad. Very unfortunate time loss here. But I would really consider PhDs at this point, because it seems like you're running out of checks, slowly but surely.
Haven't really seen that much Beatrice progression.
I mean, I think Kitcot is in like on Convo 4 or 5, if you consider Peter, and Gymnast is like basically 5 the next time he talks to Beatrice. Definitely missing a lot of items that open up a lot of checks right now, which is interesting because that either means gonna find a path to the end without these items, or that at some point a lot of items will suddenly be open, which both is not really what you want. I guess the first part you kind of want. Yeah, I guess that kind of Kitcot missing Cube Warp and Gymnast getting the pivot text kind of works out that way. Yeah, it's Splatter Touch. It's not a model you should know because it is technically a model in the game, but it is used for the reward after the wing ceremony. But since Biocharge didn't have an icon, and this icon is very nice for something flying related, we instead used it for Biocharge. And so far we hadn't had like no way to like make models. Or I mean we have maybe the way, but we didn't really work on models, so this is a good way to do it. And I like it. I think it's a very good model for Biocharge. So now we're gonna see if the bottle is what is important. It very well might be. So it's gonna be a big moment for Kitcot right here. Alright, Harp also opens this check, I forgot. So there's another check here. I don't think randomizing Cyclops is anything like has any impact on anything, because it's only gonna make it annoying. Magma Mitts? I mean, maybe.
Opens up one check that's not in logic yet
Yeah.
without
I mean,
hearing.
I mean, maybe.
There's Petro 40 for Gymnast.
Wait, what check in Ancient Cistern might require Cyclops? Is that what we're talking about? Because I'm pretty sure that health can outplay. I mean, max damage is like 4 falling damage, so I don't think Cyclops gonna do anything. Or is it something else you guys are on about? Oh, it's where his bottle. Okay, I get it. Okay.
Yeah, the bottle.
Was confused. Like Kitcot is like, oh boy, we need the crystals. That's unfortunate, and he's going back to Lumpy and get them. Oh, another song of the hero part. Oh boy, it's getting interesting. I mean, he can't enter Thunderhead right now, but he does need the crystals for 30, and he might even be looking for more. Doing Levias out of logic definitely requires a very confident player. Its power, as far as I'm aware, is not required. I think you can actually, there's like a command for it to see the hints on the trials. Yeah, just hints, there we go. At least the CSR bot is saying that, so. Yeah, I think by saying a very confident player, I meant Jasnix.
Nice soup for Kitcot.
Yeah. And he might also lose it again because he wants to get Olo. Because he definitely has to go back to Farron for this check. Because it seems like Farron is the play to go, the place to go. Is this or Beatrice, right? That's where we are at the moment. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if Beatrice is Amber Tablet. Because we've gotten so many Linnea items.
Yeah, I would love to see that actually.
Isn't a deer seed also something that has Beatrice something important? Remember that at least.
Deer Seed requires the deer meta rushing Beatrice.
Yeah, and so Beatrice has to have something important. $50-50. Oh boy! Oh boy! Did Gymnast already get all 10 single crystals?
That's a good question. I actually don't know.
Probably not. It might be possible for him to get another 4. So he definitely didn't get the Beetle one. He definitely didn't get the the training hall one, I think.
He didn't get the
He didn't
ones
do
at
Lumpy, which is another 2. So that's 4. And that's all we need. So yeah, technically you could get for 50. But he probably is gonna finish Beatrice. Never mind.
Is he going for Sister?
Oh, right, he's thinking about the ones. That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. He's thinking about that. Yeah. I mean, in his situation, that makes a lot of sense. I mean, he's looking at his checks and he's seeing, okay, good. I have like 2 checks on Skyloft. One is really, both are quite long. And I have 1 check here in Logic, which could be the thing we need. I wonder if he's gonna go for.
You can go.
Yeah, I wouldn't. If I were a Gymnast, I would not go for the out of logic checks because, hear me out, guys. Because there's so little checks, you know you're gonna get something good soon, and it might be Whip. Okay, apparently he's going for the other out of logic checks. I don't think it's in my opinion, it's not a good decision. You're so close to getting something new.
Yeah, I personally never go for these checks.
I mean, I think it's the way Kitcot is doing it. It's okay, but if you have so little checks left, you should really like think about getting progression soon. So I don't know, but yeah, it's kind of weird that Gymnast decided to name it Deer Seed and they're not rushing Beatrice. Definitely interesting choice, but after all, it might be 50 crystals. Beatrice might be completely useless. I definitely would have gone for the one check here and then gone to Skyloft. Just because I'm aware that like the next chest is gonna be something nice. And if it's Whip, it's gonna be very annoying for Gymnast because he's like, well, I just did a lot of stuff in Ancient Cistern without any reason. And now I have to go back there because I have Whip. Yeah, both have the same seed. They're just having different routes. Yeah, Jim is going for some out of logic checks in Ancient Cistern, which are not bad to do. I just think in the current situation, it's putting him behind, in my opinion, at least. Okay, I definitely didn't get many crystals because Colin also has 5 crystals. So definitely could have gone for the 50 reward, but I mean, I understand. I understand not doing that. But Kitcot, on the other hand, has the upper hand. It seems like Gymnast is not going for the 2 checks that are still available to him, which would have been climbing the rope. I think a cutscene here, unfortunately. I mean, right now it does not seem too bad for Kitcot. But if if it ends up being 50 gratitude crystals, then probably both's gonna do that last, and then we're gonna be basically the same pace. I don't think requiring 50 gratitude crystals a baby seed, but definitely gives you a lot of items. Oh, okay, that was very scary. These boards sometimes can really be extremely annoying and just kill you.
Jim almost pulled a me.
I'm gonna get the bottle here. Not what he wanted, but what he'll take. He'll probably heal Oriel then next, which also is not important.
That'll send him on a small wild goose chase.
Yeah. It's definitely funny how we have only so little extra checks happening. Interesting little circles right there. Ancient Cistern circles. Yes, circle. I should. That's true. Yeah, it's Beatrice or Patrol 50, but Gymnast doesn't know that, so he'll heal Oriel, and then he knows that it's either one of the two. I think we're gonna see Beatrice on Kitcot's side, and probably very soon on Gymnast, and it's gonna be definitely interesting, because there's not much left for Go mode, so Kitcot being a little bit ahead here could be a turning point. But it might just be 50 patrol and we're all sad. But again, I've said it earlier as well. That Amber Tablet on Beatrice doesn't seem unlikely. Oh boy. That's a nice quote.
Beatrice time. Let's see what she has.
I mean, it's a 50-50 at this point. That's why I wouldn't have gone for the intercession checks, but I mean, Jims couldn't see this coming. I mean, he's not too far behind. He's just about to do Beatrice as well. Hey guys, pause champ, whip.
Whip.
I told you, I should be here. No, I'm joking.
Oh,
Yeah, I
Jim
mean,
is far on
that's
Beatrice.
exactly what I said. I was like, don't do the ancient sister checks because you might just get whip. At least it's gonna keep us from having to go for the for the 50 we wrote. Yeah. Definitely gonna be interesting what Jim thinks about saying DSC'd and then getting a DSC'd but not being prepared. Kitcot is definitely ahead. I assume Amber Tablet will be... Oh, we should probably mark whip here. Mark whip for Kitcot. He's gonna probably get Amber Tablet on the way. I mean, there's basically there's not much that can go wrong for Kitcot, right?
Really just depends on where Amber Tablet is.
Yeah, but it has to be on this path, you know? Like, this is the only path we are available. I guess the 50 crystal reward could be a path.
Well, we'll see what it is right now.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is it's very likely that this is the path to victory. Yeah. So, whatever path Kitcot is on is gonna lead him to Amber Tablet. There's no other way. We've got rid of all checks, so the only way to reach Amber Tablet is through the whip check. Which means Ancient Cistern, which might mean more checks, but it's definitely the right path. It might just be claw shots or Well of the Goddess, but then these items will lead to another set of items that will lead to Amber Tablet in the end. So it's definitely not good for Jim to be behind right now.
Yeah, I'd definitely give Kitcot the lead here. Just because Jim is so far behind on Beatrice.
And he's not too bad on Beatrice, but still definitely behind. I mean, he's still, considering he also did the 50 reward.
Yeah, I think he's got 3 more bizarre conversations and then
Yeah,
2 at night.
that seems about right. I mean, it would be funny if early Thunderhead could have be a game changer here, but I don't think we'll see it from anyone. Definitely interesting to see this room done normal again. That you can just cheese it so easily with claw shots. Oh, I didn't go early. Nice jump over there. Very much only depends on where the check is we're looking here for. Definitely gonna be at least one required item in this dungeon. glitches and her sounds. I think what killed it for Gymnast was doing the Ancient System play. Even though he did a very good job at being fast at it. Yeah, I mean, the reason Gymnast is behind on Beatrice is because he did less scallop trips. It's the only advantage of doing a lot of scallop trips, and that is that you get a lot of Beatrice progression. But the downsides is having to do a lot of other things that you couldn't normally combine separate. I mean, best case scenario would probably be that Amber Tablet is further back, and there's still a chance to come back to Kitcot by just playing faster. It's definitely very ironic that it's actually ended up being Beatrice. So far there has not been anything on Ancient Cistern, so it has to be something here at the end.
Now Jim is getting his whip to
Yeah,
have access to Cistern.
he's definitely not gonna be happy about that. Definitely something we're gonna ask him about later, but that's not where we are right now. Right now it's still very much possible to get ahead for Kitcot, for Gymnast. So something is either on Coloctus or on the crest after.
Oh no, Kitcot messing up the one cycle.
Ooh.
I don't believe he got the spin attack.
Yeah, he could have done the Master Sword one cycle. Yeah, I mean, Master Sword and Bow doesn't really give themselves much. So, but still. I wonder if Gymnast right now is thinking that he's behind or not. Because that might change his decision making, because we know that he's gonna get boss key before having done all checks. By going here first. It's gonna be interesting to see if he decides to be like, you know what? I'm just gonna go directly to the boss, because I think I'm behind. For Kitcot to be in go mode, he needs Amber Tablet. Otherwise, he can't reach LF. Well, that was a fast swing right there. That's kind of weird. Guess it's just fast with that thing. Yeah, I mean, it has to be on this check or the next one. So you have a 50-50. I guess it could be something else as a progression. Okay, so definitely something on Ferocious Flame here. That is guaranteed. But is it Amber Tablet or is it something different that just ends up leading to Amber Tablet? We'll see. Amber Tablet for Kitcot would be huge, of course.
Yeah, that'll put him straight into go mode there.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there's not much Jim can do to come back at that point.
Oh.
Did he not do all checks? Maybe didn't do the map chest check. Did he do the map chest check?
No, he did. I remember the trial being might need, but I might have just read it wrong.
That could be something. I mean, Thunder is not open right now. Maybe something that we didn't. I mean, I'm gonna check the tracker on Kitcot screen, but it doesn't seem to be anything we've missed. So that means Din had to be required then, yeah. So I guess Chad has been lying all along. Okay, so
Alright, I checked the VOD and Din's is important, so...
yeah, okay, so that's the mistake we did. So, never mind me. Everyone could have pulled ahead if they would have just gone for the trial. But is that boss key really claw shots locked? I mean, no. Boss key should be just fine. Kitcot doing the harp check, of course. He doesn't know that it doesn't give him anything. But that means a gymnast is not in a bad spot anymore. So forget what I said. We had wrong information. Apparently. Yeah, I trust the chat as well. Pointed chat, I'm disappointed. Could have jumped over that fence if he wanted to. He just needed to pick a place where there wasn't the high spike. But it's kind of weird in this game. Sometimes the barrier collision is like 10 feet higher than normal, and sometimes it's about exactly the same size as it shows. So Gymnast is gonna get the check here as well. He'd already got whip, so at this point it's just boss. Interesting because Kiko might just go for the 50. I don't know. I think he's gonna go for the trial. Maybe, I don't know. I guess Yes, Din's trial is very long. He might decide to get 5 crystals instead.
It's the longest trial, so I can see him putting it off.
That's probably what both runners have done so far. I guess maybe that explains why Gymnast did end up doing Instant out of logic, because he had one more check that was possible. He was like, yeah, that's enough. gonna be. I mean, we know Kitcot likes his Skyloft trips, but does he like him that much? At least we all got what we wanted. He didn't finish Slingshot, I'm pretty sure. Or Olin, maybe? No, he did finish Slingshot, didn't he? Maybe Olin. Yeah, he's probably picking up Olo. Which actually makes the most sense. So he's gonna do two things on Skyloft, so I'm pretty sure he's gonna go for Skyloft. It perfectly works routing wise. He doesn't know that it's wrong. But it perfectly works. Yeah, Kitcot is losing his lead right now, basically. But I mean, routing wise, it's the best idea ever, right? Because you can do like 2 out of the 3 checks in one go, get all the crystals on the way.
Yeah,
I
in his
think
position, this is a good call.
Gymnast is ahead, honestly, because he has done all these things. It makes perfect sense. Unfortunately, it's not the right call. I guess maybe if Galactus is annoying, then he's not gonna be ahead. What's going on? Okay, there we go. That was very weird RNG. He's gonna. Oh, he also missed it. He has to wait until he attacks. You can't do it right away. You have to wait for the attack. So that might actually make him behind here. Not getting that one phase here. Interesting. I mean, I guess Gymnast hasn't done this for a while now. It's all Dungeons exclusive. But yeah, he is a world record holder, so he should have known that that is what he has to wait for. And now he can just go for it, but now he remembers. Now he remembers. Well, I mean, Kitcot still has to get 5 single creature crystals and watch the Olin cutscenes, so it's probably even now. But if he'd gotten the first cycle, he could have probably been ahead. But if you think about it, Kitcot also messed it up, so. Yeah, he could have messed up with the white sword and longsword strat. I mean, it's not normal that you get the master sword so early. Okay, so Jim's gonna soon realize that the play all along was to go to Elden Trial. So that means Beatrice was kind of required, but not as important as we made it look at first. So I guess you guys can start betting on what Elden Trial is. I mean, we don't have that much items left. It's either... I mean, you can see it on a tracker, basically. What do you guys think? Fire Shield Earrings? Claw Shots? Colossal Beetle? Song of the Hero? Or Battle of the Goddess? Can't be... what's it called? C-chart. It can't be the last sword. It has to be something that leads to something else. Unless we missed something again. I don't think we did. And it seems like Kitcot does not go for the 50 reward. So he's ahead because of that. Weird choice for sure. Weird choice, but it ends up being paying off for him. I'm surprised he didn't go for 50 reward. He was like perfectly on the route. I guess he was like, let's do Elden.
Jim is also going straight for it, so this is going to be really close
Yeah, I mean, for
now.
Jim, it's the last check, right? For Kitcot, he could have gone the 50 reward. I'm
Yeah.
actually very surprised he didn't, because, I mean, it's not like it wasn't perfectly in his way. He could have gone the crystals in the academy and, well,
No harp cancel for Kitcot. That's going to lose him some time.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, I guess it works out. I'm glad for Kitcot that he did that choice. There's a good chance of winning because of it. I guess he thought it was just too long. I don't think it would have been longer than this, but yeah, I mean, you never know. If you're for gymnast, you definitely want it to be something else than Ember Tablet.
No harp cancel for Jim either.
If you're for Kitcot, you definitely want it to be Ember Tablet. Definitely gonna be interesting what's gonna be here. Ember Tablet could still be further back. But if you look at it from a percentage point of view, so it would be rather unlikely that so many Lenevo checks don't have anything. Still possible, but it's rather unlikely, so Ember Tablet is not a bad guess. But after all, everything works. Just don't do it when I try. For some reason, I just get harp cancel. I don't think I've ever practiced it or anything, but it just works. At least most of the time. I rarely miss it. Right now, Kitcot is ahead. Oh, that's bad. I think he spawns at the, yeah.
Kitcot is ahead by only by a few seconds, maybe 30 seconds.
Yeah, 30 seconds-ish. I mean, maybe more now.
Yeah, since he voided out there.
But technically, I mean, depending on what it is, I mean, if it's like a soft Song of the Hero piece, Kitcot might want to do the 50 Gratitude Crystal reward as well, so... Technically, there is a chance that if it's like Song of the Hero and he's like, let's first do the 5 crystals if I'm here anyway, right? So that might be something where Gymnast just pulls ahead, even though it seems like Kitcot is ahead. Because technically he's one check ahead right now. If you would take that out of the equation, then Gymnast would be ahead. Or at least equal. Gymnast was a very cool match for sure. Still sad that Exto ended up doing the very far away check in Sandship. It would have been so great if we wouldn't have. Yeah, the mask thing was really cool. Getting light
Jim
fruit
picking
here,
up the light
that's what you want. Oh, getting caught on Kitcot's end though. Also not what you want. Yeah, he's preparing for more trials. Although, who knows? We'll know soon, guys. So, pause jam for the item. We'll see it on Kitcot's screen. No more betting. What will it be?
Here we go.
Ooh, Bell of the Goddess. Interesting. Thunderhead is where it's at. Who has made that bet? Elden Trial was optional. He could have done an early Thunderhead. Early Thunderhead would have done them a favor here. And they both have to get soup if they want to do Levias. Because they lost it. But it might just not be Levias, they might just... Oh, getting hit by the tornado.
There's a 56-second difference between the runners exiting the trials.
Kitcot is going for soup. Will Gymnast go for soup? I mean, Levi's might not be required, guys. It seems like Gymnast is going for it. Gymnast is like, you know what? I'm not doing Levi's. Get that dragging out of here. I'm gonna go for the prize.
So if Amber Tablet or the next progression is on Levi's, that's good for
I mean,
Kitcot.
it's
not
the thing is, I
for
completely understand what he's doing. It's so likely that it isn't, because there's 5 checks here, and only one of them is Levi's, and one of them has to have something. So it's very likely that it is not on Levi's. But I mean, percentage just doesn't mean anything. Only reality matters. Okay, we got something here. That might be the progression we're looking for. I mean, we have magma mitts. So we can't get one check. We have one bottle. So we have to do the double trip. No, actually, I think it's only one water for the... yeah, it has to be one water. Never mind. So funny, we have only one bottle, so it's perfect. One bottle and magma mitts. Yeah, you definitely will commit. I mean, Fire Shield earrings might be a red herring though. Trial was Bell of the Goddess.
No cutscene skip for Jim.
Losing 3 seconds right here. Seems like Kitcot is delaying Levi's as well, so I wonder why he then... I guess he... maybe he thinks he can skip it, yeah, that makes sense. But going for the soup just... I don't know. If you end up trying to avoid Levi's anyway, it's kind of weird. But I guess he should have known that they're in the same... Ooh, we might need what it reveals. Okay, so we have 2 paths here. 2 paths. It's not over yet, guys. It very much depends on the 50-50 again.
And there's also Levias.
Trial, Levias, or Fire Shield. The called? Mogmamit's check. I mean, you could count it as a song chain. I think a song chain and a trial chain is basically the same thing.
Nice cutscene skip for Kitcot, but bonking into the stone tablet was kind of lost all that time.
Yeah. Soul chain, yeah. True. Yeah, currently, Fledged Crystals are behind beating LMF. Or rather, getting stamina potions are behind beating LMF, because otherwise you could break Lineru. Seems like he decides to go to Fire Shield Earrings. Actually still need to mark that on his tracker, I think. Which I guess makes sense. It's a little bit faster. And he might think about when he gets soup, and he might be okay if I do fair in second, then getting the soup is not that far out of the way. So let's see if Kitcot decides to do Levi's or not. I mean, I assume he would do it. But I wonder why he did it last then. Guess it doesn't really matter. Oh, he's not on the bridge!
No, Jim. Not like this.
This is pretty stupid time loss right here, but also very funny.
Okay.
Oh, flying off and damage. That's. Oh, he's definitely stressed. Kitcot is stressed right now. Understandable. He's basically on the same pace with Jim. That is something he knows. So it makes sense that he's stressed.
I believe we're gonna get Bylosite theme though.
Yeah, gonna get visible by the side. It's gonna make it a little bit easier to get the bow shots in, so that's not too bad. I don't think he needs 2 water, but still, he might miss one. As you can see, you can now go for bow shots in the first phase. They're pretty hard to hit because of the wind just being insanely weird. I mean, I think they don't necessarily feel behind, but they feel like about even, so every decision they make is extremely important. Let's see. Was Fire Shield Earrings the right choice? No,
it wasn't.
it was not.
Nice save.
So,
decision.
Levias or Ferocious Courage? Song Chain or Levias? Oh boy.
Don't die.
Being
Kitcot.
very low for Kitcot. I don't like that. One heart is not the best. Yeah, if you have triggered a fight and you land back on his, like it doesn't even matter if you void out or anything. It's just if you trigger the fight and then land again on him, it actually triggers the getting the bow shot. It's very nice. I'm still scared. Health is not the. Oh, that could have been a good bow shot there. Unfortunately, it wasn't.
No more arrows.
How did that miss? That looked like. Okay, sure, game.
Okay.
I mean, Jim
Levi's
has
is
to do
done.
the trial. I mean, he has already set his piece to Levias. Oh boy. Pause champ. Just think, I don't know, I mean, fair trial being required just seems like a good hint in a way, if you think about it. I mean, it could be crystals, of course.
Levi's is a lower spear, so
Technically, yeah.
no harp cancel.
No harp cancel again. boy. Both going for the check that could be deciding this match here.
No,
It's crystals for
Kitcot.
Levias. That's rip for Kitcot, unfortunately. I think. I mean, he might just go for fair and trial, so it might just come down to execution maybe in LMF, but this is not what you want. It's not what you want. Gymnast is going the wrong direction. Oh no! Right, he still has his patrol 50.
He's going for patrol.
Yeah, because he got a 5. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, it's not gonna be long. It's gonna be quick. It's not gonna matter too much, I think. But yeah, it comes down to that to the one decision that Gymnast made to ignore the soup, which makes a lot of sense to me because it's just very likely you get your progression without Levi's. Yeah, I mean LMF definitely, but I mean this is gonna be more than 2 minutes at least of difference between the both. I mean, it could go longer. That is true. I mean, something like claw shot still opens more checks than just one, which might end up making, like we have this situation we just had where both runners do different choices. But it ends up it has not many items left. This chase cannot go on for much longer. We have claw shots and Beetle's Beetle.
We could get the last song of the Hero Beast.
And Song of the Hero, right, and Amber Tablet, of course. So, but Song of the Hero is not gonna change much, right? It's just gonna be another thing that both players have to do. Claw shots technically allows for 2 checks, and one is Spirit and the other one is Rattle. But they are kind of in the same path as well, so.
And also there's Zelda's Heartbeat.
I mean, Jim is not gonna decide to do Levias because he's gonna get something that's gonna give him more progression. 100%. So he's not gonna be like, I'm gonna give up on this train. He committed to skip Levias. I think the same thing. No takes backsies.
Let's see what the trial has.
I mean, if it's claw shots, I don't know, there might be a chance. There might be something. It's Amber Tablet.
There it is.
Yeah. I mean, the chase couldn't have gone for much longer. It just went long enough for Gymnast to get ahead. Very unfortunate for Kitcot. He was ahead, but the one check he didn't do with 50 gratitude crystals and him deciding to do Levias was the game changer. But they could have been gone either way. I mean, if Levias would have been the item that was required, then it would have been the other way around. Then Gymnast would be the one being very hard behind. It came down to these 50-50s, and it's funny because a lot of them, Kitcot won a lot of them at the 50-50s at first by not doing 50 crystal but doing peer trees, going for the Elden trial right away after. But it ended up being not enough because Gymnast also won some of the 50-50s, and they both had some mistakes here and there. Coloctus not getting the first phase, no harp cancel. Kitcot not getting cube orb. Gymnast watching the pivot's mom. Cutscene. Definitely a crazy one, this race. It definitely shows that both players were not impossible to beat. By all means. Does he really think the mines is faster?
Oh, he doesn't have claw shots.
Oh, Well, he could do the bit warp.
Oh yeah, the bit warp would be faster.
I assume that's why we always did the bit warp. I mean, he doesn't have the gates, but I don't think the gates is the deciding factor, but it shouldn't be too different. Oh yeah, Stone Cash would have been this insane. Yeah, you're right. Actually, no, don't you need meeting Zelda for that one? I think you need meeting Zelda for the Stone Cash one. Isn't that talking to Olin after meeting Zelda? So you can't do that. Pretty sure. I think it's talking to Olin after meeting Zelda. But you can definitely RBM one of the statues. I think another one is also Skyloft. I think one of them is like opening the practice sword chest, which you also couldn't do. Never mind. You can also not open the practice sword chest without crashing. Could maybe make a corrupt file. Never mind. He could do, but at that point I'm not sure. Make a corrupt file in order to be able to do the RBM. Okay, so maybe it's not too bad. No, Gymnast has Master Sword. True Master Sword is not required to beat the game. Yeah, that's just it's a different tracker. The trackers is basically starts with 0 instead of with 1. If you think about it that way, so it's just numbering. So it's just a tracker he's using. I think it's just not that much slower, guy. I mean, he can like, I mean, this was pretty fast. Except for pushing the minecart, he didn't have the. I mean, it's really not that much difference, I think, and it might be because he wasn't thinking about the Stone Cache RBM, and the West statue is just a bad start for raising LMF, because you kind of want to do Fire Node, Thunder Node, Water Node, and you don't want to do Water Node, Thunder Node, Fire Node. So coming from the west side, where the bit warp kind of is bad for linear routing. So I think it actually might be faster if you just think about that. But if you do the Stone Cache RBM, then that is better. I agree that doing the Stone Cache RBM is better, but if he doesn't think about that, which makes a lot of sense. Shield coming in handy, there we go. Worth buying. Yeah, very well break slides. It's very hard. Those break slides are very hard. You're pretty late. We have just finished the chase for the Amber Tablet that was a Go Mode item. But you can still see the end of it, at least. Some nice execution. Hopefully. Going for the break slide here as well. Gymnast is probably thinking he's behind at the moment as well, which makes sense. In his mind, Kitcot might have just also skipped Levi's and gone for Fair and Trial first, and he needs every second he can get here. Get this, but this is still scary. But with a great break slide, it's no issue for him. Oh, hitting the...
Man.
This was 100% a DSC. And Gymnast was not prepared for it, even though he said it at the start. No, it's not a
There's
bad
the
mindset for
answer.
Jim to have, but going for these risky plays can also backfire, right? But in his point of view, this backfiring doesn't really matter for him because he's behind. Or he might be behind. But for Kitcot, it might be very important for Jim to mess something like that up. I mean, Jim still has a huge lead. I don't think it's a small lead. I think it's a huge lead. Again, I don't think Kitcot will think of the Stone Cash RBM. He'll just do the Bit Warp, which I think is actually not that good in this situation. I agree going through mines over doing the Bit Warp, because the Bit Warp just puts you in a bad spot for Lineru. You don't want to end on Fire Node, and then it's gonna kind of be kind of weird. I mean, Kitcot has to think he's behind. I mean, he did everything. He can only be... I mean, if he thinks Gymnast is playing good, he can only be as good as Jim, because he has done every check that was open. There's no way he can be ahead. Unless Gymnast played bad, which I don't think he thinks. So, of course he thinks he's behind. And he also decides to go to mines.
Jim
Ooh,
shooting the butterfly.
Yeah, shooting the butterfly there was funny. Ooh. Yeah, the butterfly. Big rip. .64 being mad that no early Thunderhead was in here. Yeah.
I mean, if you think about it, all trial chains can be skipped except for Lineru, just by doing RBMs or reverse bit warps into the trials.
Yeah, if you consider that, yeah. I mean... But yeah. This is the good part about doing mines here. You can just end on Water Node, which is pretty close to LMF, so you don't lose any time. I don't think Kitcot needs to be sad. He played very well. There's definitely always a chance to win. Gymnast right now is playing risky, because he is also not confident that he's ahead. And playing risky obviously has the downside of backfiring. I'm not sure if he's gonna keep playing risky or not. It's gonna be something that's gonna show soon. Yeah. I mean, ironically, there has been a lot of mistakes that you normally would not suspect from our players. So like, not getting Colossus 1 cycle, or Kitcot failing Cube Warp, Gymnast not getting any Harp cancels. These things, not something you would expect from these players. But this is high stakes, so I'm not surprised that the nerfs kind of take over at some point, even for these robots here. Kitcot is going to LMF. Not sure. I mean, he might kill the plant because he thought it was low in health or something. I'm not sure. See, very nice, very good. No problem for Kitcot with the break slides as well. Very good.
There's a chance that Bosky is in East Wing, and then we could see the runners have a different route in LMF, which could potentially overturn it, but it's unlikely.
The thing that I know about Gymnast is, at least the last time we were in this situation, Gymnast was very not about skipping checks. He was about doing everything like as fast as possible, but the checks in the right order, which made a big difference the last seed because it was in East Wing, and that's why Gymnast got it early, and I think it was Leper at that race who ended up having to go there last, which was the reason he lost. So let's see if that's gonna be something he's gonna do again, going for East Wing the moment he can. Or he's gonna decide to put it at the end. I mean, Gymnast full clearing LMF is very likely. Oh, wow, he's going for these break slides. He is not messing around. He is. I'm surprised he's not doing the crazy break slide to get over there before hitting the time shift zone. I'm surprised he's not doing that. I hope you're doing that, Jasnix. Would be disappointed if you don't do that. I'm disappointed, Jasnix. I'm disappointed. Thought you had the balls, but apparently I was wrong. No, it is insanely difficult. I was just joking around because of all the break slides he's going for. Oh, that was an unfortunate jump. Oh, he's landing here? That's a weird word out zone. I guess it makes sense because you might be locked out or something. That's probably the case. That might make Gymnast even more nervous because he had the void out. Currently, Gymnast is ahead. We'll talk at the end about other races that are coming up on CSR, so if you're looking for that, you can probably either look at the schedule or wait until this is finished. I'm sure Ricky will talk about it. Using Slingshot, Pog. Where will Bosky be? Oh, through Master Slug. Wait, That is the exact same location as it was in Gymnast versus Slepalock Seed. That's funny. That is the exact same location for the sword. And in that race, though, it was very important for Jim because he didn't have a Master Sword, while Slepalock had Master Sword and got to Master Sword. It's funny that's the same location.
TMS always ends up being an LMF.
Yeah. Claw shots! Sure.
Finally.
Sure. Boy.
Jim voiding out.
Yeah, I think if I Gymnast should go check Linear Desert now with the claw shots, no?
Bosky's in the desert.
Yeah. A Gymnast has left finishing LMF, so that means fighting the beat Bosky and finishing the game. And it just
There it
was
is.
one less. Now it's just beating LMF and beating the game. So it doesn't appear that Bosky's gonna be any chase for anyone. Pretty much
Yeah,
on the
there
way.
goes Kitcot's potential advantage.
Yeah. I don't even know if Jim didn't even get a small key yet, so this was pretty forced so far. So yeah, unfortunately there was never really a chance for an upset because the small keys were placed badly. So doing East Wing last was the only option anyway. By the way, I don't know why no one's doing that, but you can actually backflip over these over the spikes here, which is, I think, faster. Because you can just backflip over everything and get the chest. Really? Slower? I think it's faster. Barely takes any time. You can immediately backflip to the switch, and then to the chest. Would be surprised if it's slower. Or maybe I'm just having the cool strats with it.
Kitcot missing whip trick. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much, fortunately, for Kitcot here. Yeah, one tablet seed would need Farenstar, Ancient Cistern, and Skyview. And it would also require every of the required items in that area. Which is a lot. At least Skyview isn't that picky. Yeah, I don't know if anyone timed when Kitcot entered LMF, but I remember Jim entering on 1:59. Not sure if you want a one tablet seed at the finals. Sounds not that interesting. Because so little checks. But maybe. I'm not opposed, at least.
Nice Moldarak fight for Jim.
Yeah. Definitely would come down to execution then, because there's not much decision making to do if it's only one tablet you'll get. I mean, this seed was pretty funny chase. A lot of big decisions in between. Yeah, I mean, of course, not having to Nehru made it fast. But still very exciting. And I think that's the important part. It's not about being long, it's about being interesting. The finals is probably best 3. I'm not 100% sure about that, but 64 will probably say anything if it's wrong. Yeah, so take in the view right here. The last time we can relax for the end game. Let's hope Gymnast is not skipping the fight text. Because that could be
Oh
bad.
god.
It could be the game changer. He's getting it.
Good.
Evil Crystal. Yeah, Kitcot still playing as good as he can, but unfortunately the Levi's play ended up putting him behind. It's not surprising since Levi's is unfortunately a slow check. The only thing we're looking for now is can we get a kebab or not? Hopefully 2. I assume Kitcot will finish, even if Gymnast finishes first. Yeah, I mean the difference between the both runners is Levi's, nothing else. It's the only check that Kitcot did, but Gymnast didn't. Every other check, both done.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, I
unfortunate
think-
that Kitcot was ahead by like a minute leaving the trial, and then decided to do Levi's, which cost him the race.
Yeah. It's just sad because I think skipping Levi's was kind of a good move at that point. Because it's just so likely to get your progression beforehand. But on the other hand, I understand, you know, you want to be clean. You know Gymnast probably is going to be clean, so you want to be clean as well. But it ended up backfiring in.
TMS for Kitcot.
Getting the quick hit there, very nice. Good start. Going for this weird jump here. Let's see if you can do it here. So if you do the right jump slash just like that, you can avoid getting the cutscene of being knocked off, which allows you to stay on the head. Very cool and not easy. Getting both.
Nice kebab. Spicy kebab.
Yeah. Unless he somehow fails to get the last hit. It's not something that never happened, but still, Gymnast won't let that happen.
Boss key for Kitcot.
Yeah. Also on the way to the end, unfortunately behind. Beetle is somewhere in the world, probably in Nehru. I think actually guaranteed Lenevu. Or did we miss? I guess it could be on LMF here as well. One of the checks. I guess that's also Lenevu. You could say it's part of Lenevu. Yeah, right. It could be Spirit or Rattle, right? Something of Claw Shot's locked. That's true as well. I guess it's just a little bit likelier to be in Lenevu because there's just so many more checks there. No, I don't think Gymnast was lucky. I think Gymnast also made back calls and didn't play perfectly, but he also, it wouldn't really say it was luck. It was just a lot of 50-50s going around on both sides. And some of them Kitcot won, some of them Gymnast won, but in the end, unfortunately the 50-50 that Kitcot was going into was doing Levias, and that was the one he lost, and then the last 50-50 was the end, basically. But I also think skipping Levias is a good choice. But I think, for example, what I didn't like was doing the Ancient Cistern out of logic stuff. It didn't matter too much, but it was just putting him behind Kitcot for a while.
I agree with doing it when Kitcot did it, not when Jim did it.
It was just so little checks for Jim. He should have known that there was progression soon, and it being either Amber Tablet or Whip means he's gonna go full clear A dungeon anyway, right? Because there was no other option than the next item that's gonna lead to something that's gonna be a dungeon.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe not directly, but shortly. I mean, again, it didn't cost him too much time, but it was the time that ended up being the deciding factor between Kitcot and Jim for the most of the time, and would have let Kitcot win if he would have gone for Levias. So, yeah, there's that.
Jim getting hit. Oh, he has a fairy.
Nice hard skip. True Master Sword here, very nice. Southwell's not cooperating here. Ooh!
Oh no!
Getting the 4 hit there. Oh boy. I mean, if you don't do Horde for a while, gee, then Horde is very hard. Being Gymnast or not being Gymnast doesn't matter. Okay, there we go. Good roll. I think this... Unless Billy... I mean, Billy could come and play here. Who knows? Billy did kill other runs before. Billy kill this run. Billy is just... So there was this thing going on, the Gymnast was losing runs to having one Bokoblin being alive and getting hit by them. And it's always one Bokoblin, and that one Bokoblin is called Billy. One Bokoblin that survives after you hit all the other ones, for some reason. But I think after he got some raise from Girahim because he killed Link so often, so he probably is set for life, so he doesn't really care about it anymore. That's probably the case. Being rich and all, you know, doesn't really care about killing Link anymore. Maybe even retired, who knows. Dying on the end of Horde is insanely bad. You know, serenading. Not sure what the bat was on, but if it wasn't serenading, that would be unfortunate. In the first... Oh... Okay. Okay, that was a little bit sloppy, but still works.
Our first wretched brat of the match.
Yeah. Everyone pulling through with 2 health here. Very nice. With some clean sword fighting here. Wouldn't want it any other way. Nice.
First phase done.
Yeah, I mean, after all, Gymnast is not sure he's ahead at the moment. Just know that Kitcot got gone for Levi's. And... time.
GG.
GG. GG. Jim will probably also join us on commentary, I assume. Yeah, again, Kitcot not too far behind. It was just Levi's, for the most part, that put them apart. Fortunate for him, but yeah.
Nice kebab.
Yeah, nice kebab for Kitcot. Hey, Jim.
Hello.
GG.
GG.
Very crazy race. It came down to Kitcot doing Levi's.
Oh, yeah.
That put you apart, basically. Except for that, you did every other check is the same. Not the same order, but the same checks at least. There was definitely some sloppiness here and there, but overall very good, very good. Especially the break slides at the end, pretty clean.
Oh, yeah, in LMF.
Yeah. Were you thinking you were behind at some point around there? When doing Lil and stuff?
I honestly, I really wasn't sure because, the last item that the trial chain, or the song chain led to was the Amber Tablet.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, if Kitcot found the Amber Tablet, before finding, everything else that was necessary, Kitcot could have potentially gone into Lanayru and found, and, not found what he was looking for.
True, yeah.
And, just, wasted time doing the entirety of Lanayru. If he, I don't know, delayed Beatrice or something.
Yeah, that was definitely possible.
So I was like, okay, this isn't the worst because, I'm not going to have to check any of Lanayru regardless of where the Amber Tablet ends up being.
I was just thinking because you first went for the Fire Shield Earrings check, which was unfortunately nothing useful.
A gold rupee.
Yeah. But yeah, Definitely very close. Kitcot was actually a little bit ahead before it came down to the Levias play. Probably mainly because you ended up doing an extra Farron trip to enter Ancient Cistern.
Right.
And yeah, I was wondering what exactly was the idea behind that, going for the out of logic checks. I was wondering mainly because there was so little checks left for you that progression was probably soon. So I was wondering why you decided to do out of logic in Ancient Cistern.
Well, right. I mean, there was still the one in logic check, which was the bottle.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, well, while I'm here, I may as well get these chests that I'm going to get at the beginning, like regardless of when I come to Ancient Cistern anyway.
Yeah,
who knows what's in these chests? Nothing useful, of course. Got the dungeon map, yay! But
yeah, that was pretty trolly. Ancient Cistern in general, you were thinking that something was there because it was only Elden Trial or Ancient Cistern.
Pretty much,
but it ended up being completely empty. Pretty funny. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm also glad that I ended up doing Patrice before doing Elden Trial, because if I did Elden Trial first and followed the chain,
Ooh, yeah,
I probably would have delayed Patrice for a very long time.
I'm surprised actually. You called your name Deer Seed, but you didn't rush Beatrice.
That's true. That's because Deer made the seed. Deer's not playing the seed.
Ah, I see. That makes sense.
But yeah, I mean, rushing Patrice may have been a good idea this time.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, we weren't going to find claw shots before getting into Ancient Cistern anyway, so.
Claw shot was in the LMF, out of all places.
Yeah, I was actually, ironically sad that I actually got the claw shots. I was like, oh man, this is going to be one of those seeds where I never get the claw shots, and then they still appeared anyway. I was like, alright,
It somehow happens all the time, yeah. I had something similar happen to me as well, where it was claw shots was an LMF. I was thinking I had a no claw shot seed. But yeah, it's Kitcot is on the last part of Horde. No issue there. Billy's not gonna take this from him, probably. Probably. You never know with him. Jasnix is asking why you didn't get any of the harp cancels.
I just mistimed them. I was too late on my B button press.
Yeah, I mean, it's after all kind of, I'm not sure if confirmed one frame, but it's kind of definitely not Prius trick. I mean, it's been a while since you did your last harp cancel, I assume.
No, I did one in the race against Battle Cats.
Oh right, you did one with Battle. Yeah, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, it'd probably something like 2 frames or something, maybe even a little bit more. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's difficult because it's a timed motion input, not a button input. Maybe that'll change in SSHD though.
True. Switching on the controls for them.
And easy harp cancels.
That is a no-bit trick. That's definitely nice. Definitely a very interesting seed with all the weird chases you guys had to do. It was very interesting.
I particularly liked chasing Betroth 50 just to get 5 more gratitude crystals.
That was pretty funny, yeah. Both of you did. Kitcot a little bit later, but it was still pretty hilarious. It's also crazy how early you had everything for LMF, but the tablet was just nowhere to be found.
Yeah. I was kind of hoping also that, like considering the fact that the game had already made me do the Elden Silent Realm and the Farron Silent Realm, I was really hoping that the reward for the Farron Silent Realm would be the last piece of the Song of the Hero.
That would have been amazing, for sure. But yeah, Master Sword was very early as well. Instantly, basically.
Yeah.
2 in Eldon and 1 in Lake Floria. Pretty crazy.
Kitcot's in demise now, so it shouldn't be too long until he finishes.
Doing shield strats here a little bit faster, I think, but not really that much. Gonna be the last attack here, and we're gonna have to come out on time here. Low 230. Nice.
GG, Kitcot.
GG. And hello, Kitcot.
Yo, what's
GG
up?
again.
GG's, Kitcot.
GG.
Very, very close race. The deciding factor ended up being you doing Levias.
Oh, great. Oh yeah, can we just talk about Levias, right? That was a thing.
Yeah.
Like, he threw me off, and I was like, oh, great. Then it's like, none of, like, most of my bow shots just didn't hit. I was like, oh, okay. Then it's like, when I try to do it normally, he dodged, like, the slime ball. It's like, dude,
Yeah,
you
that
don't
was
want
weird.
me to, like, you just really want me to do... No, wait, so, yeah, that was interesting.
Yeah. But yeah, Gymnast
think-
ended up not getting the soup. Or like, not getting the soup again and do Levias. Well,
One thing that
you
was
did
funny,
that.
right? One thing that was funny is that I think I did, like, Jim, you did a kind of rematch against Deer, just a friendly rematch, and I did that seed, and I think I pretty much would have lost for the exact same reason because I did Levias, so that's cool.
Yeah.
Consistent.
Yeah, I mean, it was a gamble for Gymnast, but he was probably
Yeah.
thinking that it's quite likely.
Yeah.
You know, you have 5 shacks, and only one of them is Levias, so...
Yeah, I think that, like, well, for once, I think that my routing was better than my movement. Like, I made a lot of mistakes, to be honest. Like, I think most notable was voiding out in System Clip, I think.
Oh yeah, that's not a very good one to make.
Yeah, I had made, like, a bunch of others, so that was kind of unfortunate, but, I mean, hey, yeah. I think that, I guess another problem that I had routing was that I delayed, Din's trial. Like, in my head, I'm like, well, it was Sphere 0, but it's Din's trial. It's going to take a while, and besides, I can do a lot of stuff in Ancient Systems, so I did that. So I think had I done that, I would have been slightly faster, but I still think I would have lost, because, you know...
I mean,
Levias.
both of you ended
Yeah,
up
I mean,
doing-
I pushed it till basically the last thing also.
Yeah, like, I know you did that, and I kind of half learnt my lesson from that first seed, but I was like, I kind of got to go for this, like, you know... Like, if Amber Tablet was on the Levias, I'd just kick myself, so...
One thing that worked out for you, which put you ahead for the most of the time after like stuff had settled, was you ended up doing a few Skyloft trips, which ended up putting you further ahead in Pietris, which ended up putting you ahead for like around when both of you had to do Pietris.
Yeah. Actually, I think that one thing that was interesting was that I went to Eldon first, and I did that fairly early on. Well, I say early, it's like the first 10 minutes, I think, or that 10-minute mark.
Yeah.
And that that was much better than just staying on Skyloft, because I got a lot of Skyloft stuff in Eldon, and I could do so much more on Skyloft too. So that was definitely the play there. Jim, I'm curious, did you go to Farron or Eldon first?
Oh no, I went to Eldon because that was the opening pillar. Farron required the Emerald Tablet to be placed, so...
Yeah. But yeah, I also, unfortunately, as I said, last location is Din Trial. I also last location Farron Trial, so...
Yeah, same with Jim as well.
Well, I left location Farron Trial except for Levias, which was a big difference.
But it's funny because both of you had the decision between Fire Shield Earring check and the Farron Trial, and both of you decided to go for the Fire Shield Earrings one. Pretty funny.
I mean, it is faster than doing the trial, so yeah.
I mean, yeah, and that one you can save scum, so...
Oh,
It was nice as well, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, again, GG Jim. You winning is not a surprise. You know, I was beaten by the better man, so GG's it.
I mean, again, you were ahead for quite a while as well. I think
I kind of thought I was ahead, to be honest. But
the routing was not bad at all.
Yeah.
Especially with Pietris being required, ended up working out. But unfortunately, going for Levi's there was too safe, you could say.
Yeah.
A little bit too safe, which ended up costing you a bunch of time.
Yeah, but nah, it was cool.
Definitely very close and cool race, even though in the end it doesn't look like that close, but came down to a few decisions here and there.
It was close for the most part.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, whenever you get to the point where you have to choose between like one of 3 really long checks, then
Yeah.
that's definitely where like getting really far ahead or really far behind is gonna start to come up.
Yeah, I think it's everything said unless you guys want to add anything.
Oh yeah, I'm done. Yeah.
Oh,
Alright.
I'm getting your points. 1 second here, 1 second.
Greedy chat again. Don't be greedy chat.
I always forget about this, and everyone goes after me. Alright then, so are we gonna wrap up?
Yeah, looks like it.
So
Alright,
yeah.
good to take that as a yes. Alright, so thank you to our runners, Gymnast and Kitcot. That was an awesome race to watch. Thank you to our commentators, Papernicus and BattleCats59, and thank you to our trackers, Deer and Pac-Man Power Ghost. We are just about done with the tournament. We have Lepilog versus Gymnast in our finals, and Jazzniks versus Kitcot for the bronze match. So those need to be scheduled, and those are both going to be really hype matches to watch.
That's insane matches.
Yeah,
insane matches.
Yeah, that's going to be really hype. For the Zelda Speedrun schedule, tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, we have an Ocarina of Time Beta Quest Blackout Bingo tournament match between DavPat and MikeCats45, though I do hear we're having trouble finding comms, so hopefully we can get that squared away so we can get that put on the restream for you all. And tomorrow on Tuesday at 10 p.m. Eastern, we have a Zelda 2 Randomizer Max Randall tuning match between Chirel Zed and Chromaticalism. So those are going to be lots of fun to watch. Check out the schedule for anything else. We are waiting for some things to get filled in. And with that, we're going to wrap it up here. Thank you all so much for watching, everybody. Hope you had a great time and have a fantastic rest of your day. Bye!
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
See you.